Hello everybody and welcome back to more route building tutorial on Train Sim Classic. If you haven't watched part 1, go check out part 1. It will be not linked down in the description down below, but there is a playlist with all my route building tutorials on, so go check them out. But welcome to part 2 of our route building tutorial on Train Sim Classic. Now, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be working on the main station and actually building the station. We're also going to probably work on some details around the station, just make the station look nice really, and potentially do some scenery stuff. So, let's get started. Now, obviously, as remember, in the last episode, we did in fact tick the Dovetail Games Exeter to Kingsware. There we go, you can see it ticked. Now, make sure you do have the eyeball symbol on, because that makes it obviously work. Now, obviously, you don't have to use all these assets, like you don't need all of these assets, don't worry. But for my station, I'm personally going to go into my Golden Age Developments folder. You likely won't have this, okay? Can I just, like, make that clear? You likely won't have this if you're very new to Train Simulator. But I'm just going to tick off the West of England line. Actually, no, I'm going to tick off the Dorset coastline. Now, to actually get the station, we're going to come into this box over here. And we're going to press the one that kind of looks like a station. If we press that, we get a whole bunch of stations, obviously. Now, I believe if you have the Exeter to Kingsway, you will have these, the AP blocks and stations and all that. So, I'm personally going to use the AP Station Building 1, maybe? Maybe. Oh, hang on. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go for this one. This is in the Golden Age Developments one, so you likely won't have this. But I'm going to go for Parkstone it down. So if I press Control, and then obviously you can see it's not lined up with the station. If you press Control and your left key, make sure you're still holding Control. And if you move that, you will get a nice rotation. Now I'm going to press the house again to get rid of, obviously, the other station. So click that. There we go. And obviously here we have it. And I believe I did do this in the last tutorial, but if I need to go over again, then I will. You press this, and for your blue arrow, you move it up, make sure it is aligned with the platform, and I'm going to bring my red arrow over here and make it line up with the platform nicely. So there we have our station building, basically. Now, I'm only using a simple station building because, well, I can. Now, obviously, this station building is a bit different. So we can see it doesn't actually have any doors. So your station building, my one doesn't have any doors, so you can't actually get out of it. However, what I am going to do is I'm just going to remove this fence and replace it. But however, I'm going to have it so there's a hole in the middle. So basically, let's actually go through this. If I press delete, and if I go back to the fence, you should remember how to do this. If I remember correctly, it was the fence picket. Yes, that one. So I'm just going to make it so there's a gap. So I'm going to make it that long. You ready? And if I move that to be aligned with the station, and if I move it to be aligned with the platform, I'm then going to get the picket fence out again. However, I'm going to start it from here so we can see there's a gap. So if I bring this to the end of the platform, press down, we can see there is in fact a gap. Now I'm just going to do the same with this one. I'm going to line it up with the station or platform, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to move this one back a bit as well. So there we can see we now have some sort of entrance. However, you may be wondering, Mr. No, that's a bit of a gap, isn't it? Right. How we fix that is we go onto the station, and I don't know if you remember, there was the AP blocks. So I'm going to use the AP block to slope. And obviously, I'm not going to do that. So if we just hold this down, if we hold the left key down, this is how you get the pivots without, obviously, like 45, 50, 55. So there's not any preset angles. But again, I'm going to use the control method. So if I, again, hold down the left control key, it is left control, by the way. I don't think it works on right control. Okay, it does work on right control. But again, if I just rotate it to be aligned with the platform, and there we go. However, you may see it's not perfectly aligned. So if we press at the very bottom here, the rotation tool, here we go. And if I hold the green one, I can basically rotate it, which is very nice. So I'm just going to line up with the platform. So just about there. I'm then going to move it. There we go. And by the way, if you're wondering, this one over here, the small square, big square arrow is basically how you make yourself bigger and smaller. But I don't think we're going to be needing that for today's tutorial. So I'm just going to center it up with the actual thing, and there we go. So now I'm going to go into the paintbrush tool, again, with the paintbrush on the paper looking thing. And then I'm going to go to the, brick looking thing, the grey brick looking thing, which is concrete. Now, my favourite one is tarmac light, so I'm going to click that. And it's a bit like doing your ballast. You just paint away. So I'm just going to make a quick little car park. I think I'm just going to do, that looks good. Yeah, why not? Perfect. And let's start to do the car park. So if you go onto the house and then the person, we should see quite a few parked cars. Now, I believe my one has some preset cars. Yeah, here we go. So I'm going to do a row of parked cars. I'm going to do a row there, and if I do, that's an actual preset car park, but I'm going to do cars parked, let's try this one. I'm going to put them there, I'm going to get double A, and put them there. Now, you may be thinking, how are we going to get a fence? Now, if you don't want to use the picket fence, that's absolutely fine. You can use others for your selection. But for my one, personally, I do recommend downloading it. You're going to, well, if you do want this, you're going to go to the Golden Age Developments website and download their common pack. But I'm going to go into common, and I am going to grab out their fences, which I personally quite like, the dry stone light. Now, dry stone light is literally just dry stone. Again, you don't have to do this one. You can use the one in Exeter Kingswell, or whichever route you have actually ticked off, or whichever route is your base route. And I'm going to make it, it's basically like making the fence in the station, really. So, there we go. Now, we can actually move it around, like, you don't have to use the arrows. I personally prefer this way. I can just, like, drag it and move it. So, that's very lovely. I am going to make that lined up with there, though. Perfect. Now, if you want to make this absolutely perfect and like copy and paste it, you can press Control C, Control V, and it should just I could be wrong on that. I could be very wrong on that. Oh no, okay, so it is Control C, Control V. There we go. So if we just click that down there we go. Perfect. And then let's do the adjustments. Perfect. So you now have a kind of car park looking car park, but you will notice that this bit over here is very dull. So, shall we add some grass, maybe? Yeah? So we go into the house, and then we go onto the tree and water looking thing. We will have a whole bunch of selection of grass. Now, I believe it is in every single route. You will have grass, field, large, O1, O2, O3, long, med, and small. I'm personally going to use the extra large one, which is only available in the Exeter Kingswell one. I'm going to place, actually, I'll use the large one. Place a bit there, and it's literally just like placing cars down. Place one there, place one there, place one there, place one there, and place one there. And then we have some grass. Perfect. Now I'm going to do for these other sides here, I'm going to place some grass there, 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 and place some grass there. Here, 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 and here. Now, you also notice, if we go back into this, if we scroll down a little bit, we will have some smaller bits, like the moor. I quite like the moor, so I'm going to place a bit of the moor down. It's basically just, well, I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know how to explain it. It's like, if you've been to North Yorkshire moors, you probably see a whole bunch of moors. And then I'm going to use the Exeter Kingswell weeds line, O1, which basically is thick grass. Well, it is weeds, but it is literally just the thick grass. Like, it is just grass, but made smaller, if that makes sense, which it probably doesn't, because I'm explaining it. But again, I'm going to place them along my track beds. Again, if this tutorial doesn't make any sense to you, please let me know down in the comments down below. I can, in fact, get into contact with you or help you through the comment section of the video. So, again, just leave some advice or leave some questions in the comments down below. So, there we go. I think that's fine for now. I'm now going to scroll down a little bit more, and we have some trees. So, this one is 2D. I don't like 2D trees, so I'm going to scroll down a bit more until we find the, I think, tree oak large 1 is, okay, yes, that's 2D. But it should actually come up with either near. So, near is basically what you get to 3D trees, or you also have 3D, like, it would literally say 3D. But for me, personally, my favourite one is the Flexi Road trees. So, I'm going to pick Flexi Road trees near D. And basically, it brings me a whole bunch of selection of trees. I'm going to place them down. One there, one there, one there, one there, one there, and one there. One there, one there. And I'm going to use Flexi Road trees B and just cover up those holes over there. Now, this will come in handy very, very shortly. Do not, and I mean do not, use 3D trees for all your route. If there is a little bit of a gap and you want more trees behind them, go to the very bottom of your page and get out the, like, the 2D trees, like wood O2. This. So 2D trees, even if it doesn't look that great, it is still going to perform, like, it's going to increase the performance so much better on your game. Now, this over here is like this, looking a bit flat, isn't it? So if I press the paintbrush tool again, and then if I press the, like, the mountain with the up arrow, I can, if we just, like, press, actually, I'll do a demonstration over here. If we click the left-hand key, it makes a hill. Perfect. If you don't like it, make the hill smaller. Or do the undo arrows and the reader arrows, which are the orange ones. I hope I haven't mentioned, not mentioned that already. Over here, I'm just going to make a couple of, you know, like, hills and all that. Perfect. Couple of hills. And I believe that should look good for now. Yeah, so there's got a bit more life into it, if that makes sense. Now, if you do want some, like, let's say, I don't know. In fact, I think that might be all of it for today's episode. However, I do actually want to focus on this bit over here. So if we press the rail, okay, the linear objects tool, press that, go into the box underneath it, we will have roads. Your road's going to look a bit different. If you have the Exeter Kingswear one, your road will look like this. I'm going to use that road for today because I don't want to confuse you too much by using mid-hands roads. So if we do this, control, move it there, we now have road to our car park. So I'm just going to make it, like, curve a little bit. I don't know, like, go over there. It's a very curvy road. Like, this is definitely a UK road because it's this curvy. Right, okay. Now, if you press the houses, okay, the houses, and if we press the one that looks like a house, the domestic buildings, we will see a whole bunch of random houses, all of that, and even entire towns, which is pretty cool. But I'm personally going to use, for this one, this. So this is Stone TER02 Flex 5. So if I make it go the other way, because we don't want the garden facing the road, and if I just bring it over here, we now have some houses lining up with our road, which is very lovely. And again, if you press Control C, Control V, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Let's save my game, by the way. Make sure to save your game. But again, if I do Control C, Control V, there we go, now it works. We can just place them along our track, which looks very nice, very lush, very simple. Obviously, I'm not lining up my trees the best here. Houses the best here. But this is because I probably won't be using this route for my actual heritage area that I am building, because I'm going to start a new one, of course, because that's Mr. Dale. If you do want a story by why I'm not going to use this one, it's because my building's a bit like, I have a lot of experience, so my one's going to be a lot more detailed. But again, if you want to like make him face the other way around, because again, we don't want the garden facing this way, hold Control and basically just move them. It's that easy. You can do the same, Control C, Control V. There we go. There we go. Place, place, place. Perfect. So that is really part 2 of our tutorial on how to make a heritage railway in Train Sim Classic, or any route in Train Sim Classic. So it's only been simple, but I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. If you have, make sure to click that like and subscribe button. Again, anything that you need like help on, let me know in the comments down below. I'll just see you in the next one. So let's just save my game to get rid of the UI. So bye for now, my friends. See ya.